Jade, symbol of peace, symbol of purity, symbol of religion. Here are some jade artifacts. This one from 4,300 years ago, 3,000 years, 2,000 years, and also 2,500 years ago. Goldware. This actually is a coffin for ashes, the remains of any Buddhist monk. By now I've noticed the difference between Han Dynasty and Tang Dynasty, as well as Ming Dynasty sculptures and their differences. See, that one was just made in the Han Dynasty, Western Han Dynasty, and you can see that it takes somewhat of a more rounded shape. Now there are a few more over here. You can probably see that they're all taking a rounded shape, and the carving are not as deep. It's probably not because of the age process that it's been through, but rather one of it would be the culture and one of it would be the technology differences. These are also in more or less the same dynasties. This is actually Roman. Artifacts from the Ming Dynasty also take a more rounded shape, but they have a lot more intricate details carved on them, as opposed to the Tang Dynasty artifacts. They have way more details, and they do not take more of a rounded shape. Way more details than any other dynasty combined. Now those two were from the Tang Dynasty, and now we look at the Ming Dynasty carvings. Ming and Yuan Dynasty carvings. A lot less detailed. Artifacts from the Warring States Dynasty, however, do have more details than Han Dynasty and Ming Dynasty. Now see these, with all these intricate details, these are from the Tang Dynasty. Now even the Sui Dynasty, the era before Tang Dynasty and after Han Dynasty, you can see that the sculptures already take on way more details than the other dynasties before that. Now here's a golden plate, also from the Tang Dynasty. Take a look at the bottom. Now on the floor is actually a map of Xi'an. Now the inner side is Ming and Qing Dynasty Xi'an, and the outer red region is Sui Tang Dynasty Xi'an, when Xi'an was the #1 city of the world, largest, the center of the world. Some of these are from Han Dynasty. Yep, here's the Han Chang'an Dynasty, city of Chang'an, and Qing Dynasty. Now this is just a hunch. This is from the Northern Wei Dynasty, circa 500s. This is before both Sui and Tang Dynasty, but also after the Jin Dynasty and Han Dynasty. This I actually don't know when this is from. Let's check. Okay, Western Wei Dynasty, so from more or less the same era. Now the reason why this era, circa 500s, Eastern Jin Dynasty and Wei Dynasty, North and Southern dynasties, have so many Buddhist sculptures is that Buddhism was really popular at the time because of several things. One of them is due to war, and people wish to find inner peace. Because life is suffering, so they can have a better time accepting the fact that China has been conquered by the barbarians. And in the south it was popular because, well, it's a thing the rich could do. Compared to the artifacts, circa 500s, these ones, circa 300-400. do take more rounded shape and have less details. So there might have been a technological or cultural breakthrough during this era, circa the 400s in China. For all the statues of Bodhisattva during the era of Tang Dynasty and Wei dynasties, they appear to be more masculine. Facial expressions, facial features, and general shape of the body. Now, in the Song Dynasty, 1200s, or even 1000, Bodhisattva takes more of a female stature. I may need to make a correction about Bodhisattva. Now this one is from the Sui Dynasty, remember the facial features? Now we take a look at Qing Dynasty and Ming Dynasties. This from Qing Dynasty, 1600 to 1900. Not a whole lot of difference, but you can see the bottom chin has become more sharp, you'd say, or at least I'd say. Perhaps the eyes are somewhat different, more feminine. Now the cultural norms of the Tang Dynasty is to be more rounded, to be fat really. So maybe that's one of the reasons why during the Tang Dynasty the statues are fatter, and in the Qing Dynasties they are thinner. Chang'an from the Tang Dynasty. This is a 3D map of it. I'm gonna take a more detailed look at it. I don't know if you can see it, but the center is surrounded by walls, and this would be the walls we see today in Chang'an, and that surrounds the imperial city. The rest of them are also surrounded by walls, separated into districts. There's a curfew in Tang Dynasty, so you have to be inside one of these little squares wherever you're from. You gotta go home at 9 o'clock, I think. Here looks like a apparently Buddhist area because of the pagodas. The rest of them I can't really figure out. This is from Ming and Qing Dynasty. Considerably smaller, but still has all the essential aspects. You can see right in the center the bell and drum tower. Over here is the gate. The moat is still there. And I guess this would be the Imperial Garden. Chang'an of the Han Dynasty. It's at a different location from the modern day Xi'an, and a different location from the Tang Dynasty Chang'an. On the right are the palaces, left side. Some palaces, some markets, armory, more palace, and the rest of them are just regular streets, I suppose, for the regular everyday people to live in. Song Dynasty. The walls are now rectangular, and the streets aren't as proper. It's not nearly as large. I don't really know anything about the Song Dynasty, so this is it. I honestly think these are either doll houses or model homes. Well, model of homes. Basically, maps of Nara and Kyoto. How they pretty much just copied Chang'an right off from this. Bricks and tiles take a whole different pattern between the Han Dynasty and the Tang Sui dynasties. In the Han Dynasty, they are simpler, carved with just a few lines, patterns, simple patterns, and in the Tang Dynasty, they are thicker, bigger, well, not necessarily bigger, but thicker, and take a more complicated design. Qin and Han dynasties are quite similar. Have more or less the same bricks, more or less the same tiles. Oh, by the way, this is actually a pipe for water. But you know, their tiles actually do take an animal shape rather than a simple pattern. From the Northern Zhou dynasty, here are pottery figures of the women. Sui dynasty, dancers. And finally the Tang dynasty. We can see that fashion has really changed. People's perception of beauty has really changed for women. And it is indeed during the Tang dynasty that fleshy women are considered more beautiful. Apparently yellow glazed pottery is really popular in the Sui dynasty. And just regular pottery is popular in the Han dynasty. Now from that camel, you can see that the Silk Road has already begun, because China doesn't really have camels at the time. They have to get them from the Western countries, Western kingdoms. Apparently during the Han dynasty, all the seals have a turtle on the back. Seals from the Han dynasty are really proper, really square. Everything is exactly in its place, but compared to the next dynasty, the Jin dynasty, I'm gonna look for one right now. Now even in the Eastern and Western Han dynasties, they're both the same. Okay, Eastern Han, still really proper, really square. Now this is the Jin dynasty. Only a few hundred years after the Han dynasty, and it's already become more crooked. Wei Jin dynasty, it's crooked also, and same thing here.